Shawty kill shit, shawty slay. She's a serial killer every day. Shawty kill shit, shawty slay. She's a serial killer every day. She's a serial killer.
This disturbing murder happened in Lee Park in the suburb of Hampshire, England. Lee Park is said to be a happy place to live, quiet and laid back, where everyone seems to know their neighbors. It is known as a very family-oriented community. This is where Shaye Groves lived with her little daughter. In July of 2022, Vicky received a video call from her good friend, 26-year-old Shaye. It was certainly not the call she had expected to receive. At first, Vicky just thought the horror call was just an awful joke. Shaye was giggling on the phone so much, she was sure that it could have only been a joke. Shaye told her, "I've done him," and scanned the video over to where her boyfriend, 25-year-old Frankie FITZGERALD, laid on her bloody bed with a huge hole in his neck. Come join me in the Murder She Shed, the place we honor the dead, right from my she shed, and my name is Holly. As you can see, I'm not in my she shed again this video. Still super cold out there and snowing today, so I just decided to film inside my house again in front of my warm fire. Well, let's begin. Frankie FITZGERALD was a father to 2 small children. Frankie came from a close-knit family. According to people who knew him, he would do anything for anyone. He was a genuine, kind, and caring person. He always had the biggest grin for all that met him. You can never win an argument with him because he would just always end up making you laugh. He seemed to be loved by all who met him. He was a great dad, but sadly his 2 children would lose their dad all too soon. Shaye Groves seemed to grow an obsession on anything that she liked. That seemed to be just how her personality was. Her current obsessions were tattoos, serial killers, BDSM, and her boyfriend Frankie. I mean, a lot of us enjoy getting tattoos and having an interest in learning about serial killers, but that doesn't make us killers. So when I discuss what Shaye enjoyed is just to give a description of her personality, not to judge anyone. As you guys know, I have tattoos and I talk about serial killers, so I am definitely not judging anyone on this case. Shaye had many gangster books like Charles Bronson in her bookcase. Shaye was a true crime fan that had pictures of serial killers hanging all over her bedroom walls. Some of the serial killers have blood running down their faces. Shaye had 4 decorative daggers and 2 axes hanging on her bedroom walls. The daggers were decorated with movie villains such as Chucky, Jigsaw, and Pennywise, which she and Frankie used for knife play in the bedroom. Shaye was also known to carry a knife with it tucked into her boot for safety when walking alone in the evenings. Both Frankie and Shaye had started using coke together months before the killing. Shaye had a roommate named Lauren, which she had nicknamed Chuck since she was such a big fan of horror movies. Shaye had even attacked Lauren once with nail clippers, leaving a gash in her head. Shaye only calmed down after she had brought blood. That's when I would be moving out. I would no longer be her roommate. Not living with crazy. Sorry, I'm crazy enough without adding to that crazy, you know. Shaye was known to always film her exploits in the bedroom, and she was also known to blackmail her past boyfriends with the videos. She had even threatened Frankie in the past with blackmail. She enjoyed BDSM and was obsessed with Frankie's performance in the bedroom. She seemed to get a thrill from the abusive sexual nature of their relationship. She was not shy about talking about her sex life to anyone who would listen. Shaye was controlling, obsessed, and would be easily jealous when all Frankie's attention wasn't on her. It was not known for sure if she was a wannabe serial killer, but she did have Frankie's murder pre-planned. Due to her constant obsession with true crime documentaries, she became very familiar with crime scenes, how to fabricate a story, and how to fabricate an alibi. Days before the killing, the couple had a bust-up after Frankie called Shaye by the name of his ex-girlfriend. Uh-oh. Not a good idea, fellas. Not a good idea. Although, most women would not take a knife to you had you done that. At least sane women. There's some crazy ones out there. This infuriated Shaye, and she didn't forgive him. Later that day, she called her friend Vicky and said, "I just want to pick up a dagger and put it straight into his neck." Shaye was also seen in a CCTV footage, conspiring to hurt Frankie and planned for him to be attacked in a dark alleyway, with her covering her tracks by saying she would get one of the men to kick her so Frankie would not suspect she had arranged it. She also joked with her friend Vicky about Frankie ending up on the wall as there was space for him alongside the serial killers hanging on it. This being proof of how jealous and conniving she was with Frankie. Shaye decided to make it appear as if she was a victim of an assault and only was defending herself. She started by carefully editing one of her BDSM videos she had recorded of her and Frankie so she would look like the victim of a RAPE. Then on July 17th, Frankie took her dagger off the wall and plunged the knife into Frankie's neck, leaving a large split that opened to the back of his throat as he slept. Even though they both were in a drug stupor, Frankie woke up and began trying to fight her off, but she had hit the carotid artery in his neck and he was losing blood fast. As he lay dying, she continued to relentlessly stab into Frankie's chest, causing further devastating injuries to the heart and lungs. She delivered more than 20 blows to the dying man. She messaged Vicky about 5 a.m. and let her friend know that her and Frankie had a big fight the night before, later saying she sent the messages to cover her back after admitting the killings. So basically, just another alibi for her that she had concocted. First, before calling her friend Vicky, she started lovey-dovey text messages with another man, inviting him to come over to spend a little time with her while Frankie was still lying dead in her bed. Lucky for that fellow, he did not. Smart move, my man. Then the video call to Vicky came at 7:45 that morning. After Vicky was shown the huge hole in Frankie's neck, she realized it was all too real. Vicky asked her friend what had happened. Shaye replied, "We weren't getting on very well and had an argument about his ex and went to bed to sleep. His mistake. He should have left the house at that point." But he didn't know she was that crazy, I guess. Don't even know how people don't know that, but he didn't, apparently, wasn't afraid of her. Also telling her friend Vicky that she said while Frankie was asleep, she got on his phone and was going through his text messages and came across a chat with a 13-year-old girl. Shaye then said she lost it. Considering how much Shaye lied throughout this whole ordeal, I honestly don't believe those allegations. I believe she would have said anything to make herself look more victimized and innocent. Vicky quizzed Shaye over what she would do with the body. Shaye said she would bury it in her back garden. When Vicky suggested she would get caught, Shaye replied, "It will be all right." She knew as a true crime fan that she would never be able to cover up this murder. After Vicky got off the call with Shaye, she called 999. Shaye claimed to the officers when they arrived that it was self-defense because he had attacked and RAP'd her. She then showed them her edited video as proof. Her lies would soon come to light when they found the complete video, showing her consent and the safe word they used when the exploits were too rough. The dagger was found in the sink where she had tried to wash it clean. There was also an incredibly strong smell of bleach in the bedroom. An autopsy was done on Frankie, which showed he was stabbed 17 times to the front of his chest, twice to other chest areas, and 3 to 2 times in the neck, resulting in his death after multiple stab wounds to the heart and lungs and an extreme amount of blood loss from his neck. Shaye still denies murder, claiming she acted in self-defense. Now Frankie's little children will never see their father again. Frankie's family paid tribute to him in a statement which read, "Frankie was a loving father, brother, and son. He was the light of our lives, and we will miss his kindness, his happy smile, and the fun person that he was." My prayers do go out to Frankie's friends and family during this trying time and a huge loss of a young man whose life was ended all too soon. Another horrible case, and guys, if I can give you any advice, there's a certain kind of crazy that's a little too much. I have a bit of crazy, but not that kind of crazy. but there's a certain kind of crazy that's a little extreme and you probably should stay away from it. That's my advice for you in this video for the dudes out there. Anyway, guys, in this video, and I'm going to end it by showing you the snow outside and my dogs playing in the snow and having fun. We were walking on our land. They like to do that. All right, I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed week. And I'll probably see you in a few days, and hopefully I'll be back in my she shed and this stupid snow will be over. I'm not much of a snow person, honestly. I just celebrated my birthday. I'm not going to tell you how many years. Just too many, really. Just say I'm over half a century. That's all I'm going to say, over half a century, which is totally depressing. I'll let Simon say bye to y'all. He's snoring. I don't know if he'll say anything. His eyes are open. Say bye. I love you. And then there's Max in front of the fire. And there's Buddy back over there. Yeah, there's Buddy. And this one says bye. Did you tell him bye? Did you tell him bye? Say bye. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. All right. Love y'all. Have a great day. Bye.